What's up, everybody? This is Stackz Gaming. You got Larry here, Teddy Bear in the house.
What up?
So, as you can tell, we're going to be doing a deck profile of Trafalgar Law. My buddy got me this pop today. We saw it. I thought it was really cool. It glows in the dark. That's the upside, but I figured might as well. Happen to get it today. Might as well do a review today. I haven't been doing any other colors, so this will be a sneak peek to what's to come next. Also, a little promotion here. Not a promotion, but like an announcement. So this new Dawn that's coming out, basically you can get this Dawn for when you do online tournaments, and if you top or if you win, they'll send you promotion packs with this Dawn. I believe it's like 1 or 2 and it's random. This is the Japanese version. I ended up getting it in like a little kit. So we got red for Luffy with the hat. We got Zoro. We got Sanji. We got Nami. Then we have Brook, the singer. We have Sabo. Usopp, my bad. Yeah, Usopp. Then we got Jinbei, the son. We got Frankie. Then we got Tony Chopper, and then we have Nico Robin. I believe that's either Nico Robin or Boa Hancock. Don't quote me on it. I'm still trying to figure it out. So we're going to be focusing on Law. Law's ability, once per turn, you can rest 2 Dawn, and then choose a character, send it back to your hand, and then play a character with the cost of 5 or less that is a different color. So we'll call this like a flickering deck. It's pretty good. It's win some tournaments, but it's in like the top 4. It does place, so it is a pretty good deck. It basically has the outs to the decks that you're playing, so you need to get your hand strategically to play each color. Let's just go with the basics to start. We have Bonney. Bonney is good. You definitely got to play 4 of her. She's good for the play and on rest, especially if you're going turn 2. If not, you could always turn 1 go Nami. That's probably the better play to go for. Then your next best searcher that's good to flicker if you're just still to dig through your deck. After this, you want the Namis. So they did errata her. So before it used to just say character. Now you can bring an event card or a character. So I think that's what makes her really broken now. Basically you're gonna use your blockers to keep at least the Bonney alive, so you can keep searching. Then we got our 1-drop blockers. I believe there should be 8. You gotta do the buggies and you gotta do the Tony Choppers. Yes, they both don't have counters. It is the downside, but because you need to flood your board, the 1-drop is good just to get bodies on board without having to use too much of your mana or too much of your Dawn. Oh, I only have 3 in this one. Now, if you guys want to see any other colors or gameplay, let us know. Leave it down in the comments. I have taken this to locals. It does pretty good. It's you basically want to open up with these 2 and like a rush and a blocker just to get your hand going, and then so whatever you're playing against, you can optimally dig for what you need. This is just our 1-drop package. I probably do need one more Tony Chopper in here. Just haven't gotten to it. It's also it's hard to put curve in here as well. So for my 2 drops, we got Brook. He's good on play. You can assign 2 Dawn to a leader or to a character, and I think that's really good. Just because it helps you play him, you tap 2, and then you assign it somewhere else. It's just really good to help go for that little extra push. Plus, he's a 2k counter. He comes out of the structure. So definitely, I think it's ideal. You really defend your characters more than anything because you want to get your leader's ability off. Another 2k counter. So she's good. Some people, if you got the Gum Jet Pistol, you can lower an attack of a big creature to help you bring it down. And if you have your board full, you can flicker her back to your hand and to reduce it again. So I was able to do it. The combo's a little long. That's if you absolutely have to do it and you don't want to assign your Dawn for, or over assign your Dawn for a resource and then lock yourself out for a turn. Then that'll be, I think that's all my 2k counters. No, my bad. Other 2k counter is her. So I only play 2 of her. I don't play a lot of the Wano package, and I also don't play the 1-drop Ozazuki. Even though it probably would be good in here at least 1. I think 2 is fine. A lot of people like playing her at 3 or 4 because the 4 cost is relevant against blue. But I think ideally, like, it really depends on your gameplay and how you're pacing the game out and what you want to see. But these are basically my 2k counters. You got 10 total. I think anywhere between 10 and 12 2k counters is essential. Then we have another blocker, 2-drop blocker. He's good. If a Dawn is assigned to him on block, you can basically draw a card. You basically just going to use that just to draw the card. I'll probably take him out for a chopper. Depends on where my curve is leaning right now. It only looks like I got the 1. I just made my last final update to this deck today. And then, so for the other killer, we're going to do the other 3-drop killer. It's good. So if you play her to rest something, this will destroy it. But this only destroys a 3 that's rested. But our other card that we play that rests stuff would be this. This rests a cost of 3 or less. So if they got blockers on and you really don't want to deal with them, you're going to play this, then play that just to make sure you can go in for the push. I also only play 2. It has a 1k counter on it. I think it's pretty good. I normally play it when I know I can flick it, just so I can get these 2 to go off together. Works really good against red and probably a mirror match. Not so good against Kaido. Maybe for his small blockers, but his board's pretty big. So it's something you have to deal with and then learn to play around and make sure you have an optimal hand. To help you push in early, you gotta have the Zoros, because you do wait a lot, and then being able to re-stance him basically when you use your leader's ability for the flicker, I think is really good. So this is what's really gonna help you push in for game. These are your rushers. You normally play him when you know you're either in a closeout game or go for the push. That's why there's only 2. I thought 3 was good, but it kept tying me up on making decisions. Because technically he's a 7. So like if you play him and then you play the Brook, you can assign 2 and make Luffy's ability free while getting another body on board. It happens sometimes, it's good, and then I'll flick the Brook back to my hand to play like a green blocker, so I have the 2k counter. It does come up, it is relevant, but I think 2 is good, because you can just dig for it. And then to help the red cards flicker even more, This is a blocker. I think it's one of the better blockers that you play in the deck. Basically, on play, you are going to return a character. You may return a character to your hand, then play a character with the cost of 3 or less. So he's good to bounce Zorro back to your hand. And then, like, say after you bounce Zorro back to your hand, you can use your leader's ability. You'll bounce this back to your hand. Or you can bounce, say your red Luffy, right? You'll swing with this, use this. You can choose to bounce this and then play this, right? So it's like a good little combo you got going on, just moving stuff around. And he's a blocker, so that's really good. And if you keep him alive, he ends up turning into a really good swinger. But I think what helps you push is this one, the Law from the structure deck. So basically what it does on play, you can select one of your supernova or heart pirate type creature with the cost of 5 or less as active. So basically, say you swung with this, you can stance it and then bring it back as a blocker. So, or you can choose to swing with him again. That's up to you. But it's good to swing, play this, and then restance it as a blocker to help keep you in a game. Or say you had Luffy, you swung with the Luffy, right? You play this, and then you restance him. There's like a little good combo between these 3 cards right here, between your leader, the blocker, Luffy, and the structure. It takes a while to get to, but as long as you dig, and you dig for the optimal hand, that's basically how you win with this deck. Make sure you buy enough time to you have the perfect setup, and you make your opponent play into your game. Now for board control, for all the small blockers that you don't want to deal with, you have the Nico Robin. So basically, Nico Robin, when attacking, as long as a Dawn is assigned to her, you can destroy a creature with 3,000 or less power. So I think it's relevant, especially if she's been on board and you know you have enough blockers on board. You can basically play this, reduce the cost of something, then swing in, destroy it before blockers, and it allows you to push in and makes your opponent think twice of what he wants to play. Then X-Drake, he's really good just because he has an on-play ability to KO one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 4 or less, but he has to be rested. So this one, along with your other 2 creatures that allow you to rest stuff, I think is really good. You probably can swing with him, but you're basically going to be bouncing him just to destroy stuff. It's a guaranteed destruction, and you can play it for free with your leader because it's a 5 cost. So swing with Luffy, restance him, and then bounce this to destroy something is really good. Then you play this. A 5 for 6 is still really good. We're trying to keep the consistency of 6 power on a 5 drop just to make the power hard to deal with. When there's 1 Dawn on him, once per turn, if a character battles, if this character, meaning him, battles your opponent's character, you can restance this. So say you got a rested character, I put a Dawn on here, I'll swing into it, it'll restance him. But it's only once per turn. So say you got 2, I'll swing into the 2 that you got rested, and then if I have to, probably bounce them back to my hand with the leader's ability to play a rush Luffy just to get in for like 3 swings. Helps you control the board. I know green players really love this card. This with your leaders almost game all the time in a pure green kid deck. So I wanted to tech it. I thought it was good. And then you have your 8-drop kid. Super good. When I get into him, I make sure I protect the hell out of him. Make sure he stays alive. He has really forcing your opponent to swing into him. So I think it's necessary. Plus, what's good about this card, active main, you may rest this card and then play a character with the cost of 3 or less. So say you bring it out, you rest him, it allows you to play a 3 or less. You'll be able to get your Nico Robins on board, you'll be able to get your blockers on board. So like if you want to conserve Dawn, you can. I just think it's really good because it's just a free play. 2, I think could probably fit in here, but the fact that you can search it and it's not too hard to get to, and you don't want to see it because it doesn't have a counter, and when there's a couple cards in here that we play that don't have counters, and we're already fighting an uphill battle at 4 life, so I kind of figure it's not having too many cards without counters keep you alive a lot longer. And then for the ending, because everybody wants to know what the events are, I want to play 4, but I only got room for 3. The Gum Gum Jet Pistol. It's really good for dealing with the queens, the 5-drop that people that Kaido play. It's good to get around the Trafalgar Law for mirror matches on their blockers because it's got 6k power. Say if you are facing a kid match and they've already played their 8-drop kid, well, kid is an 8 for 8. You can play Otama. Otama will reduce it to a 6, and then you can play this, and then just get rid of kid and not have to worry about swinging into it. But that's why I say it's good. I just don't have the room because I'm trying to control the board at my pace versus trying to force my hand and tap myself out, because a 4 cost is a little high for this. A lot of our small stuff is like 1s, 2s, and 3s. So we want to get the board built with all the small stuff, and then drop our 5-drop and then flicker ability, you know, just to maintain a pace of game. So this is the deck profile that I came up with, testing with some of my friends. I got a couple ideas on what to expect and how to play. It's definitely situational, but this deck has all the answers. You just have to make sure you get to that point where you know you feel comfortable at playing the color that you are up against, or the mirror match, you know? Because in the mirror match, it's about who gets there first, who can set up properly first with this deck. So that's why it's a good skill tier deck. So if you think you want to play it, go for it. It's fun, but you gotta have patience, you know? You gotta build up to the right board that makes sense.